We back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Yo, what's happening, good people, man? Welcome back to another segment of the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K.Mims, the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. I got my bro Louis B with me tonight, man. What's happening, bro?
What's up, man?
The show, the baddest duo in the land, man. For small talk, Miss Brittany and Miss Asia. What's happening, y'all?
Hey.
Yeah, for sure. Princess and Jay are here in spirit. Definitely want to shout out a happy early birthday to Miss It Depends. Miss Princess Houston, birthday is tomorrow, so salute to her. I've got a question that I didn't tell nobody about that I have to ask. Before we get into the social news of today, before we get into everything today, I got a question. Do you all let people, do you let your family, Nardo, what's happening? Do you all let your family follow you on social media, or do they get access to certain pages and not other pages?
Absolutely. They follow me on Facebook. They got me on Facebook.
What about you, man? What y'all doing?
No, they certain pictures I may allow access, but for the most part, no, they don't.
Interesting. What about you, Lewis? What about your peoples?
I don't post anything, so yeah, it don't bother me.
Oh, so that's really like nobody following you, but I get it. So the reason why I asked was this. I know everybody know about close friends X, Y, and Z. Recently, this is a mistake by a family member, not me. Recently, they added someone to their close friends, a family member, and somebody else found out that they had it, an old head, because old heads don't know why the circle green, and they got a view into somebody's lifestyle that they didn't know that they was quite living yet. So it became a thing. So I was just asking like, damn. So my thing is, let me put myself out there real quick. So I know my personal page is like people that could call me on the phone. My other stuff that's public, I don't really care who follow it, because I'm like, Lewis, I ain't posting nothing that's really close to the house. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to ask that. I ain't want no smoke. I like the fact that, do y'all think our parents should follow us? Like, we grown. I'm just.
My mom follows me on Instagram, and I follow her back, and I instantly wanted to like take that follow back, because some stuff is just like, wow, like you're really like you're doing older mother things. So it's just like, wow. Stay on Facebook. That's really how I feel.
For sure. I feel you. All right, so we're gonna get into the first segment of social news for the night. All right, so the first thing I want to get into now, I sent in the chat. This happened recently this week. So everybody knows that Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose has a baby. They share a child. I don't know how old he is, but he's pretty like 7, 8 range. Mm-hmm. They moved on. Great co-parenting relationship. This week, Wiz Khalifa posted that he was pregnant with his girlfriend. Now, mind you, the co-parenting relationship is positive. And Amber Rose comments and says, we can't wait to meet her, I believe. I don't know if they know the sex of the baby, but basically, Amber Rose commented on a picture of Wiz Khalifa and his current girlfriend with a pregnancy test, saying, "Oh my God, we can't wait to meet her." Is that, or what's y'all thoughts on that? I'm not even gonna feed y'all the alley. What's y'all thoughts on the co-parenting being that much of an integral part of the next relationship?
I love it. I really appreciate it. I feel like that's what a blended family. That's what it is, and it should be, right? And I guess because I think of the mindset of the children as well. Like, no matter how you slice it, dice it, that's her son's sibling, you know? So I feel like as much as we talk down on when things don't go, and we highlight when things are not so unified, I think we should celebrate when it's like, yeah, like I don't feel like she threw shade or anything like that. It's like, yeah, like we can't wait to meet her. Like we're a whole unit here. I liked it. from face
Who,
value.
Brittany? You said from
Brittany,
face value.
I'm interested in what Brittany. She's a co-parent, so I'm interested in her perspective.
So hearing Asia's perspective, that's not the first thought that came to my mind, right? Like oh, she's happy. I read sarcasm all up and through that comment. Being on this side of the fence, because if it comes from a genuine space, you won't know that until the baby's ultimately born, right? But like if it comes from a genuine space, then absolutely celebrate that, do things for the kids, y'all keep it cordial. But for the most part, it's like, I mean, I just feel like certain things you don't have to comment on either way. I come from a different perspective, and she could have meant it, genuinely, but I just felt I read a sarcastic undertone to that. But shout out to them, seriously, if they can copacetically do that together.
Man, I'm gonna go here with it. I feel like I do respect it. I do love to see positive co-parenting relationships. I never take that away from nobody. You feel me? I also think who they are plays a factor into them being that comfortable being co-parents to that level. Meaning like the level of access they have, not level of access, but like their financial situation, like they've curated whatever they needed to do. He's obviously moved on, you feel me? However, I think that's a little harder when you probably don't have the money that they have or he has to be able to set that boundary. I'm not gonna lie. I read sarcasm too. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just not trying to be negative, but I read sarcasm too. I'm like, we can't. It had to register that we was her and the son.
Yeah,
because I'm like, we who? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because then I feel like sometimes when OD comfortable co-parenting relationships, there's no way that relationship. This is my opinion. In my opinion, there's no way that relationship is that close where some lines don't get blurred. I'm just saying. That's my personal opinion. Like that opens the door for them lines to get blurred. You understand me?
And but Lewis, before you go, real quick, to piggyback off of Keenan, I would never hit up the father of my kid and say like, we can't wait to meet the baby. I hear co-parenting a lot, but the baby's not here yet. So the dynamics change when the baby's here. If you're making comments and blended families and all that stuff and the baby's here and you all have worked out some sort of something, that's different. But Wiz Khalifa could very much be paying too much attention to the new baby, and then Amber gets in her feelings. Then it starts a whirlwind of, oh, you're not taking care of our kid like you take. All of that it can play a role, or it couldn't. But what I'm saying is that the baby's not here yet to pass that judgment. And that's why I feel like you going out of your way, making that comment to say like, to hit up your baby father to be like, yeah, I can't wait to meet your new kid that's not mine. I don't know. That's just.
You saying don't trust? You saying don't trust on another woman's feelings?
Go ahead, Lewis.
Oh no! I'm asking a very direct question. Are you saying don't trust another woman's feelings?
Yes and no.
Okay. Can you elaborate if you don't mind?
I mean, it's there. It is what it is. You don't know. The scenario can go left or right. I'm gonna leave it there.
Interesting. What's up, Louis? What you thinking, bro?
One, that girl is fine. Remember, he is.
Which one you talk about?
His new baby mother. You're fine, boy. Anyway,
Louis is a wild boy, man.
Good pick. Good number 2 pick. So, I think that as I listen to you all, I think that, but Amber Rose, I think that's her name, right? Amber Rose. Yeah. The more I've seen her speak, she lives in her truth. You know, she really does. She lives in her truth, and I respect that. I think if there was any malice, she would be maybe a bit more overt about it, just given what I've seen from her, socially. But the thing that maybe allows me to lean more towards you guys that assume or that there's an underlying sarcasm to it is that she did it publicly, right? The words she chose to use publicly. If that's how she felt and said that behind closed doors, it probably wouldn't have the same impact, or maybe cause you to think about it as much. But because she chose to write it that way publicly, I think creates that underlying sarcasm. So I kind of understand where you guys are coming from, but based on what I've seen from her, she kind of lives in her truth a little bit more than other people. So I'm kind of in between there, but I can understand that perspective.
Can I ask a question? So what part was sarcastic? Was it the we part? Was it the her part?
I think it's we.
Y'all
The we
read the sarcasm.
She inserts herself into that conversation.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm happy for you.
And that's sarcastic.
To me, I think so. She was like, happy for you. She could have say, we're so happy for you guys. Can't wait for her to get here. Right. But when you say we, now you're saying, hey, I kind of have a kid already with you. I'm attached to this man as well. Right. This is the second go round. Like, I know it's digging deep, Asians. That's deep. But I do think that choosing to use the word we was unnecessary. Really.
So would it have been better if she said your son is excited to meet her? Like,
no,
what that I guess I'm just trying to figure out, because
she could have said her son and I. Yeah, I mean, she could have said so and so and I are excited to meet her. That's true.
In my mind, that's we.
No, you're right. You're right.
She could have just said super excited, heart emoji. Like, you don't have to.
So it's the fact of we, which in my mind, I guess that's why I'm so caught up on it, because I'm like when I read it for real, I was like, now that's straight up unity, because it is like we, not like your son is excited, not like, okay, all the things. It's like, no, we are both excited for all the, like, for you, for the baby or whatever the case may be. And I guess it's because looking at their co-parenting dynamic, like, I'm going based off of, like, they don't have a rocky, weird type of co-parenting relationship. So for me, I read it based off of that, of like, yeah, they are like, it's not, they're super unified. So for me, I legit saw it as like okay, and she's posting it to show the world that, like, yeah, they are like unified, like me, like we over here, like we're excited to meet her. That's how I read it. That's why I'm really like, there was sarcasm there.
I feel like when I think about when I feel like if I have a child with someone, right? I absolutely feel like me and that child are a package deal. The we made it seem like her and the baby are a package deal. That's my personal opinion. When so like me and my child are a package deal. You got to accept him. The we was like, oh yeah, no. All three of us are a package deal when you get into this new joint, because we can't wait to meet little one.
No. You saying she includes Wiz in the we?
Bro, you get what I'm saying, bro?
I do.
Like you made it seem like, oh, it's us over here. Thank you for joining our family. All of us three can't wait to meet your little one.
Welcome.
Come on, I'm just saying.
I can't wait to see how it unfolds, because when I tell you, I don't see what y'all see. I don't.
So I'll say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't think, but based off what Lewis says, her living her truth, it may not be sarcasm. I damn sure read it as that. I really did, because texting don't have tones. I read it as sarcasm. All right,
Great number two.
Yeah. So next, we're gonna watch a quick video about Chris Brown. Man, Chris Brown is becoming the new menace with these fan pictures. Hey, would y'all pay $1,000 to take a picture with Chris Brown?
Absolutely.
No.
Okay,
absolutely. Today.
All right. So oh wow.
No. Hey, she said today.
Yeah.
You wilding.
You wilding. All right. So Chris Brown took a fan picture with someone. We're gonna watch the video that she posted, and then we're gonna come back.
Oh, Columbus. Yep. Literally after my picture went viral, my boyfriend broke up with me about a week later after arguing because he felt like Chris was too close on me. I'm just like, it's one of the most respectable pictures. It wasn't like I was bending over grabbing my ankles. But I would trade my ex for meeting Chris Brown 100 more times. So definitely really, really right there. Which means,
like, I don't know where to start, yo.
I'll just say this. I'll have other thoughts later, but if you have seen the pictures that Chris Brown does take with his fans, that is one of the more respectful poses. That's the only thing that I will actually. He's been like, he be lifting people up. Like
More
to get
respectful
her.
don't make you respectful though, Asia.
No. I'm not saying that it is respectful at all. I'm just saying
Okay.
the point that I do agree with her was if you look at the context of how he takes pictures with his fans, like that was very mild. I mean, I wouldn't pay $1,000 no way. I don't think it's worth it, but
hey, I'm throwing this one to Lewis first, man. How you react to your lady?
Asia know the value of $1. So
Hey, Lewis, how you she come home with it framed and everything like, hey, babe, look at this. What you doing?
man, I'm a fan of Chris too.
So she can take it.
Yeah, but man, don't be rubbing it all up against him. You know what I'm saying? I probably would feel some type of way if you rubbing that up against him.
Aggressive.
But I think it sounded like listen to what she said. She would trade it 1,000 times just to meet him. Like, I feel like my wife wouldn't say that about me. You know what I'm saying? My significant other wouldn't say that about me. So it seemed like they were already on shaky ground and he was insecure, about it. But you got to think, like, when you're dealing with celebrities, like, there's a chance he could steal your girl, as Trey Songz would say. But if you are who you are, you have nothing to worry about. So that's just my thought on that.
Brittany, you said you would pay that much today. So what's your thoughts on it? It ain't nothing wrong to you, huh?
Nothing, absolutely nothing
Come
wrong
on,
with
man.
that.
Stop it, man. Stop it.
She the same one that said light-skinned dudes is trouble. I remember that. I took offense.
Yeah, I don't know if she was wrong about that one though, but
I remember that.
But Brittany,
I mean,
go ahead.
Different perspective. I've been a Chris Brown fan since I was yay high. So I've always, it doesn't matter. So yes, I would pay.
Why you gotta put your ass on them though?
I mean, it's like that looks like a prom photo to me. I feel like we all have that photo somewhere in our home, or it was taken once upon a time. Granted, we are not in the relationships that we're in now or whatever. Am I saying it was respectful? Whatever. But I feel like he kind of.
But you would do it.
Yeah, but I've already said that. Okay. Sorry, Michael. I'm doing it. I just feel like. she just, she didn't like him. She didn't like him enough. And I agree with Lewis. Like, you wouldn't say that afterwards. I would never say that. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it 1,000 times. Like, nah, I got my one photo. I'm good. That's all I needed because I'm a huge fan. And moving forward from there, I wouldn't do it 1,000 times over again.
Can I ask a question?
Hold on. Before you ask a question, I just want to give context just because now I'm just starting a little bit of trouble. So my brother, he's a Chris Brown fan too, and so we were actually talking about this yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, but people don't look at the whole picture." So apparently things are coming out with this shorty, and there was a lot of trouble in her relationship with the guy, and there was like cheating and like infidelity and all the things going on, and she had a habit of not necessarily being faithful, allegedly. I don't know the girl, and vice versa. So there was already some.
Mm-hmm.
That
has come out. So I just want to add that in there. But go ahead, Keenan.
So Brittany, I ask you just I'm only gonna ask 1.5 questions. Would you pay for the picture and go in with that pose, or he has to lead you to that pose? It does matter. It absolutely matters. So don't say it don't matter. It does.
It doesn't.
Would you pay it and then go in and be like, oh? Or
if you lead with that, you got every intention of making it that. You want your behind on that man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all are right. I mean, I'm not going in there with an intention to, like she said, grab my ankles in front of Chris Brown. I'm going in there to take a picture. But if he places me a certain way, I'm not gonna not.
You didn't answer my question. I hear what you said, but you answer my question. Will you pay?
What was the question? Let me
you pay.
What's the pose you're gonna take going in there to meet him?
Great question, Louis.
We're gonna put our arm around each other and say cheese and lean
side by side like this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, yo. That ain't worth.
I'm not. Listen, let me just say this. If I'm paying $1,000, I'm touching you. Something touching something. I'm not paying $1,000.
She gonna grab the mic for 1,000.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it's $1,000.
Like, yo, that's tough, yo. I really feel like this is I'm telling you this. let's go scenario, right? Say I'm there with her, right? Because I rock with Chris Brown too, right? If I'm there, I'll probably be a little lenient if he say, okay, come on, let's take this picture. I get it.
Yeah.
If you go in and you like, huh, come on, hey man, you can take her money, we out. That's different. I'm sorry, they're completely different. If you go in back turn like, oh yeah, no. Now I really do understand it's $1,000. He's a celebrity. He's doing his thing, and he curates that pose. Okay, cool. I live with it, but I asked you that question because if you go in with your back turned, what's going on? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Straight up. Lewis, am I tripping?
Nope, you ain't tripping.
Ask y'all something.
It's
And
not
like
one
guys,
time
like
deal.
what's like the guy? What would be the guy alternative to that? So like, who do y'all like?
Meg Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Okay, like if Meg Thee Stallion is having pictures, whatever, you pay the money. What pose? Like if she places your hand on her hip, on her lower hip.
You're gonna come sit on my lap.
There you go.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
No. Lewis spoke for herself.
I'm speaking for my. She gonna sit on my lap right here.
You killed your argument by saying she placed my hand on her hip. Because I said if he directed you into that, okay.
Right. No, but I'm genuinely asking. Like I didn't have an argument with it. I'm genuinely asking what would be on the opposite side, what would be deemed respectful or not, or not, or whatever.
Because she already don't put on clothes.
First of all, let me say this.
The booty cheeks are gonna be out.
Let me say this. We would get in trouble for paying $1,000. Y'all would have beef because we paid $1,000 first. We wouldn't trip. Y'all would. That's first. Second.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah, thank you. Second, that is a situation. I know I'm gonna prove Brittany's point. We just gotta ask for forgiveness, man. Ask for forgiveness, man. Ask for forgiveness, man. I ain't going in with no expectation. But I damn sure ain't blocking no oops. I'm telling you that right now.
Listen, I'm paying $1,000. She's sitting on my lap for real. That's just what it is.
It's not like it's a reoccurring event. It's a one-time thing. Live your life.
I'm stopping right there. All right, next we got it's no video reaction, but this week in the recent weeks, Michael Rainey Jr. went onto a popular YouTuber's live stream. And my man got touched up by the live stream sister live on camera. I don't have the video. My apologies. But what happened was they were having a good time. He was behind the streamer's chair, and his sister went in for the kill.
Mm-hmm.
He made a face of discomfort. It kind of shut down a little bit, and he ended up leaving. Statements afterwards that he put out were like this: If this was a man doing this to a woman, I know it would be taken very seriously. So I got to be very intentional about my next steps. Still processing everything. I'll say something soon. What's y'all thoughts on how a man can be treated like a piece of meat, but if that happened on the opposite end, it's like, oh my God, the world goes crazy. Where is that lack of boundary respect for men versus women? Or what's y'all thoughts on it first, and then we'll get into the conversation of it.
It's a sucky double standard. If you ask me, I think
but it is one.
It is one. It is definitely one. I feel like he's absolutely right. If it was a man doing that to a woman, they would have probably been locked up somewhere. Because you can't just touch somebody openly and freely because. Like sis, she didn't even touch him. Like she grabbed him, she groped him, and he was caught off guard. Like, yo, what is happening? The double standard comes in is because men usually desire that type of action, right? Or they're more open to, I'm saying this from the world, not from a Britney's perspective, right? Society has made it more comfortable for men to be acceptable of these types of actions. It lets you know, like, oh, a woman is ready for something, right? Or a woman there. I've seen this happen plenty of times. But
is that the double standard though? Is that the specific double standard?
To me, that's part of it. That's part of it is that it's okay for a woman to touch on a man because it doesn't happen very often. It doesn't. And in that world, I feel like men are more receptive men can be, or it has shown to be more of like, oh, okay, she's inviting me in, let's go. versus it being disrespect. It really is disrespectful. It should not happen on nobody's parts. And that's where I feel like it's a sucky double standard, but that's just the way that it's viewed. Or from my experience and what I've seen, that's the way that it's viewed.
Oh, so I'm just, because you said something, I don't disagree that's a part of it, but I feel like the bigger double standard is not that a guy wants to be touched that way, and when it happens, it's taken differently. But I feel like the double standard is that if it was reversed, he would be in cuffs. Like one can't do it at all, and one is allowed to do it. That double standard, that is the double standard to me, versus actually like a guy, he might not, it's the soft guy era. That's what everybody like. He might be talking, what I mean? Like, it might be different. You know what I'm saying? But I think the thing is, the double standard is like, if he would have did that on live to anybody, don't matter, famous or whatever, there will be a warrant out right now.
Yep.
Straight up. That's the double standard. My man, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's just like, oh, I got to put something on IG and that's the end of it. It's crazy. But I'm sorry, that was my little spill to what you said. No,
I'll agree. And just speaking from a man perspective, I mean, this happened to me, but it is what it is. But I think that y'all laughing, but I'm being dead ass serious. You know what I mean?
How'd you handle it?
I didn't really, it was someone that I wanted to have some certain types of interactions with. So I didn't trip. But then I think about, like, as women, and I had this conversation with Asia, like, to think about constantly feeling like you got to protect yourself in that space is so uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? And I could only imagine if I was in an environment where I didn't like somebody and they were doing that. Like, it's uncomfortable enough for me to have conversations with people who it was hard enough for me to have conversations with people who I weren't attracted to, right? Letting them down. So I can only imagine someone that I didn't have any interest in groping me. You get what I'm saying? Like, how vulnerable that would make me feel. I mean, that sounds crazy, but I'm just really putting myself in that space right now. And that is like, that's absolutely nuts. I would also add another double standard would be for men. Typically, if a woman grabbed us or tried to get access to us, we could maybe fend them off a little bit easier, right? Just based on biology. But for women, one would assume typically they would not have the biology advantage to fend off a man. So I think that's also another double standard. Doesn't legitimize either, but I would say that's also kind of how it's taken in a different context.
Absolutely agree, bro. What about you, Asia? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everybody. I think it's disrespectful. I think one of the things too that people have talked about for a long time is the male, like, I feel like the way that a woman's body responds to certain touches is very different than the way that a man's body responds, right? So like sometimes if a man is touched a specific way, we're going to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay,
even if it's for a little bit.
I don't know what you mean. What you mean? Say it again.
You know exactly what I mean.
Well, you mean arousal?
Yes.
Oh, I hate him, man.
Yeah, thank you, Louis. Yeah, that's what she's talking about, brother.
I didn't say the layman's term.
Yeah.
But for a woman, it would be it takes more work for us to even get aroused, right? So when it's an unwanted touch, it's definitely not that. And so I think that sometimes people, they'll say like, well, he wanted it. Well, like, so he's mad that I'm like touching him, and it's like, well, he was still reacting to it, and I think that part is sad, right? Because it doesn't make it right? It doesn't mean that it was a wanted thing. But I think people then use those excuses as like, I mean, I seen him react to it, so it's not that bad, which I think it sucks. And for me, I have a thing too when it comes just on the topic in general. When it comes to like Black men, my heart just starts to like break a little bit, only because like historically speaking, just how Black men have been lied on and continue to be lied on when it comes to this type of stuff, and the way that they have to defend themselves and fight and all these things. And sometimes they're not even believed. Whereas if a woman were to make allegations, whether it is true or not, she is believed off rip. It's almost like surprising if she is lying, right? And so for me, I think my heart always just gets a little like, dang, like it sucks. It shouldn't have to be that much of a fight. For him to say like, this is something that I did not want. I felt uncomfortable without his masculinity, without him being a man, without all those things being put into question.
Is in this instance, is he obligated to protect that black woman?
No. Over himself? No.
I'm asking a fair. I'm
saying, yeah, over
asking
himself.
a question. I
don't think so. She shouldn't have did it.
Okay.
Hey, back to this arousal conversation. No, I'm just kidding.
I hate him. Hey, that lets me know at minute 30, Lewis is sleepy. I'm telling you right now. That lets me know right there, Lewis is sleepy. All right, man. So we got a couple of videos to react to. That's what we got popping off next. All right, man. So if you don't know, about 4 days ago, Tyler Perry came out with a new trailer called Divorce in Black, featuring Megan Good and Corey Hardick, right? Is it Hardick? I said that right? Yep. So we're gonna watch the trailer and then I'm gonna give some of the criticism and critiques that already came out, and then we'll give our opinion on it.
Well, thank you for inviting us. We actually used to come here all the time, right, Thomas?
You don't hear her talking to you?
You better get your wife, man.
Ain't nobody gotta get me.
Let's just order. I just want to have a nice night.
I don't know how you do it, Ava.
I see she tells you everything, huh? Palace. You know what? I can't do this. And what y'all looking at?
No rest for the wicked.
You are home now, and you are safe.
No light in the dark.
I tried everything.
No peace to be found.
You have taught me since I was a little girl to be a good wife.
You think he's gonna
Stop! That boy put his hands on you!
But what happens when that's not enough?
Sometimes we hold on to the things that God himself wants us to let go of.
I didn't realize how deep in the red I was. When this divorce is over, I want to be in the black.
Girl, you got that man out of your house? Now we need to celebrate, get you a new man.
I am not even thinking about that.
Honestly, I never liked the way he treated you. I always thought you were too good for him. Aren't you glad to see me?
I gave up so much of myself to be with you that you haven't met the real me.
Stop repeating.
He walked inside your house and now he's sitting outside the bank? Ava, you need a restraining order.
I'm gonna tell you this just one time. You better leave me alone. Careful pushing a good woman too far.
So Tyler Perry back in his bag, man. He gave us Mia Coppola, and now he's giving us Divorce in Black, man. What's y'all initial reactions to the trailer? I'm gonna get into some stuff I saw, but what's y'all initial reaction to Tyler Perry being back? Do y'all think he in the same bag? Do y'all think it's a new bag? How y'all feel about seeing the trailer in the new movie?
I think he's taking advantage of all those people. Richard Lawson, Mr. Hardick, and Megan Good all went through very public divorces. And I think that is somewhat of a marketing tool. And I think that's how he's trying to get people to maybe buy into the movie. But I think it's ironic that the last 3 to 5 years, all three of them went through very public disputes. So that's the first thing that caught my eye, when I saw it. I don't really care to see any more divorce movies, man. I don't have that is not my niche, but I'm sure it's something exciting, I guess.
So do you think with that marketing, what you just said? So let me say my opinion. Then I'm sorry, ladies. Let me jump my opinion. Then I'm gonna respond something to Lewis. I agree with you in who he's using. I don't feel like the plot is the same. I feel like that plot is normalized in all movies. It's just that Tyler Perry did it, so we kind of see like, okay, where is this going again? Type vibe, right? But yo, is redundant as Tyler Perry can be sometimes. The movies don't be that bad. You know what I mean? They're watchable. But my initial thing is like it's the domestic part of it for me. Everything else I could take. Can we take a different angle based off where we at right now? Like, I get he's capitalizing, I get business is business, but it's like, can we get out the domestic bag, man? Because I really feel like my boy is typecast a little bit. He get that same role like the angry black dude in damn near all the movies and TV shows he get. In my opinion, that's my initial one. That's my initial one. What y'all think, ladies?
Yeah, my initial thought was what Lewis said, basically, just around like the casting. I thought was literally because I think Megan Good, her divorce was finalized in 2022, and then Richard Lawson 2023, and then we just had it, with Corey. So I think that it was smart doing it that way. I would probably see it because that's not even true. I would probably be the last one to see it. I'm not excited to see it. There's nothing. It's true. Like there was nothing in that told me it was going to be a different story than what I've seen from him. It really feels like it's a bunch of different Tyler Perry movies put together.
Yeah, for
We'll
sure.
see. We'll see.
Appreciate everybody tapping in right now, man. Give it a like. Appreciate y'all tapping in with the Monday Night Crew tonight, man. Give it a like. Give it a like. Brittany, what's your thoughts?
I agree. It's a typical Tyler Perry movie, but I will say that I'm still gonna watch it only because he knows his audience. People can talk about it all the time, but like it's like if you like thrillers, you're gonna go watch the thriller. They're all horror movies, demon possessed movies. They all have the same storyline. Some kid is upside down doing an exorcism, right? So there's only so much you can write. I do agree with the domestic part, Keenan, that you said, like maybe switching that up, because it's like, dang, how many women can get beat up? Like, how many times are you going to tell this in the Black culture and define it the way in which you do of, women trying to escape these situations? Except that one time where was it Sanaa Lathan? Like the roles were reversed. I was happy to see that.
Family that prays. That prays. Yeah.
For once, it was like, okay, the girl is same storyline, but the girl is actually the one that's in the wrong. So, excuse me. So to just to switch it up a little bit, but overall, I'm happy to see Megan Good not playing a hoe. She plays that in every single movie, and I mean, I haven't seen it. Maybe she does. I don't know. But it feels good for her to be like a married woman that's like in a relationship versus trying to chase a man.
You thought she was a hoe in all her movies?
Yeah. I can't.
What about that one with Michael Ealy, where it was the white guy? They bought the house. Remember that? That was a few years ago.
Huh?
Which
one?
Yeah.
Michael Ealy, her and Michael Ealy, they were like a couple, and they bought a house, and the guy didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it wasn't a real big.
Feel like 80-20, bro. I'm not gonna cap.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I need to check that one out. I didn't.
And the thing is, I'm not gonna dive too deep into it, but getting into like kind of what I see, kind of what I see a lot is with the movie. I don't know how I feel about damn, I lost my train of thought.
You don't know how you feel about what?
Damn, bro, it left me. No lie. it left me. What I know, what I want to kind of get into about the movie specifically, like even though the overall broad theme, I do like the whole diving into like her saying like, oh, you always taught me to be a good wife and what that looks like in people's capacity. Because what I do think is something to talk about is how people are being raised to be a partner, but it may not reflect who you find and what that person needs, right? Because what if the plot twist is that's what she experienced growing up? So she went back and found that. You know what I mean? I think it was very intentional, not taking shots at anybody's religion or anything like that. I think it was very intentional that she was a preacher's daughter. You know what I mean? And she found the opposite type of guy. You know what I mean? And then it unraveled this way. You taught me to be a good wife. It's funny how traditional storylines always still make a buzz in modern times. Like that is still a thing, very much so. And also, I would allude to the fact that it seems like she's from a country town where her people stay. I think that's a good dive in. The only thing I'm gonna say is that interaction at the beginning was crazy, for real. Talking crazy to my man wife like that. It's gonna go there. It's gonna go there. Any last thoughts on the? Any last thoughts on that?
I got to give you and Brittany credit because Brittany referenced like the horror genre being the same story. We got to lay off Tyler Perry a little bit because we got to give him the same opportunity to leverage his niche as we do others, like Stephen King and all that, right? And then to your point, Keenan, I got to give you credit too because you really broke that down. I think that, and I'll say maybe the story comes up because it's so it remains relevant. Maybe a lot of these things continue to come to the light because these are experiences that people continue to live. You know, so art imitates life. And that's probably why we keep seeing it recurrently.
For sure, absolutely. All right, so in the name of graduation season, we can watch a video, and I want to know, did main man do too much, man? Did main man do too much?
The little boy Blue Williams.
Oh my God.
All right, man. How much is too much, man? How much is too much, bro? That's Do y'all think it was too much?
No. That's an accomplishment. Take your moment, young king. Nah, I don't think it was too much. I think he was just having fun. I mean, he might be hurting a little bit, but he deserved that moment. So I don't think it was too much.
All right. So I asked yes and no. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say from an educator standpoint, that might be the youngin that you didn't think was gonna make it. And he made it. So he gotta have his moment. Mm-hmm. However, there's always a limit, my boy. There's always a limit, my boy. Split number 3 was okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We don't need all that. Now, I tell you one thing that I really did like. I like the fact that I don't know if it was the principal, the chancellor, because I'm not sure if it's high school or college. I do like the fact that he embraced him afterwards and didn't make a scene about it. Mm-hmm. I think that was a good way to keep the main thing. Like he cracked the joke, put it on like, nah, you good now? You good now? I think that was great for embracing the young man. Nobody was like, what? Or they try to shut it down. They let him have his moment. It may have been too much. In my opinion, it was a little bit, but they let him have his moment. Ladies, well, Asia, well, I'm gonna throw it to you. Why are you looking like that?
Because I'm like, y'all talk so much about Black Boy Joy and all the things, and that was him doing his thing, especially because, and maybe this is therapist brain here, but like the reaction that everybody had, it seems like number one, that's part of his personality. Sure. Because nobody seems shocked that that's what he was doing. And also, I always think like, what for somebody to get that excited about graduating, like on the real, I'm like, the story had to go deep, like real deep, you know, like, so for me, I don't know, like, it's just like, I'm not a fan of us saying we need to see more Black men being joyful and we shouldn't be seeing them all hard all the time. And then he's doing that. And then it's like, see, doing too much. It's
I
like,
don't know about Ace. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that you're saying any of that. This is not a reflection of what you said. I'm talking about in general. I don't like even the idea that it's like now it's too much. And it's like life boy joy.
I get that. Okay. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I get
No,
you.
you don't have to let it go.
I do. I do. And I'm gonna tell you where you shut me up when I reflected before I said what I was about to say. Because of everybody's reaction, obviously he's known to have personality. You know what I'm saying? But it was a bit much. It was a bit much.
No, like and I guess that's the thing. Like, was it dramatic? Yeah. Anybody could see it was dramatic, but it's like, okay.
It only wasn't a bit much if he was last. That's the only way it wasn't too much.
Now tell me a little bit more about that.
Just consideration for the person behind you. Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Does it take away from their celebration?
Now, y'all know good and well. Okay, let me stop before I be done. Like, come on now. You know good and well, if everybody decided to have that level of celebration, their graduation go from 3 hours to 7. That's all. I can't say just a little consideration. Hey, look, man, my man did 10 splits. Cool.
He did. He did.
Can we take that to 6?
We could, but I just don't think it was excessive. I think it was him celebrating his moment.
So it's funny you say that. Brian Newsom says, yes, it was a bit excessive. He was cool until he phased dude out to and went back to his splits. Be excited, bro, but excessive. And B-Dot also just said he did 26 splits. I think it was okay. Can we agree that it was excessive, but it was okay? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Brittany?
I don't think it was excessive.
Come on.
I don't. Now, if he went up there and did a full dance routine that lasted 5 minutes, that's excessive. But he took all of 30 seconds. And I'm actually impressed on how many splits he could do in 30 seconds to celebrate himself.
That was a bit much. Any opinion on that, Lewis, before we go to the last video?
I mean, I thought it was excessive, but I think because he was being embraced by everybody, I think it's acceptable. If people started getting upset and things like that, then different. But I'm cool with it.
For sure. So we got one last video we're gonna react to. This was a good little conversation that I'm gonna just play the video and we'll get opinions afterwards.
And is like a woman is a reflection of her man. You know what I mean? Like meaning like the way he pours into you, the way he takes care of you shows.
I'm so giddy right now.
You know what I mean?
Him.
So like when you see your woman really happy and doing well, it's a reflection of her man and how her man is pouring into her and how he's providing, protecting, and doing all those things. So
I ain't gonna say nothing. I just want to hear thoughts. I ain't gonna say nothing. You want to play it again?
Play it again. Okay,
let's play it again, brother.
I mean, is like a woman is a reflection of her man. You know what I mean? Like meaning like the way he pours into you, the way he takes care of you shows.
I'm so giddy right now.
You know what I mean? So like when you see your woman really happy and doing well, it's a reflection of her man and how her man is pouring into her and how he's providing, protecting, and doing all those things. So
I'm gonna say this. This episode is called Pick a Side. I ain't gonna pick one tonight, but I'm gonna say this though. So you hear all the time behind every strong black man is a black woman, which I absolutely believe in. Then you just hear the video say like a woman is a reflection of how much his guy pours in to her, right? Can those things happen simultaneously, or is there one that kind of one that yields different results?
I got to represent for Princess. I'm gonna say it depends.
Here you go. Hey, bro, I need you. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because I'm serious.
I need to know. I'm sorry, Lewis. Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm saying because I feel like, and you guys know me. Anytime I talk about my success, I always talk about my wife. You even said it before we got on, literally, right? So I think there's a certain element of the truth, but it depends on the individual, because I could be doing all those things, but because that person is insecure or miserable with themselves, I could be providing all those things. but until they see the greatness in themselves, they could be miserable, and they may be choosing to be unhappy, right? Even though I've created the environment for them to thrive and be happy. So it mostly is true, but I think there are instances where it could be untrue because of that person not doing the work on themselves.
Louis, can I ask you a question? Man to man, husband to husband?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you connect with the part where he says your wife is a not explicitly, when he says your wife is a reflection of you?
Absolutely.
Yes, but does that mean that you pour into her? Because he related it. Say again.
How do you not pour into?
No. Listen, but listen to my question, and we having a conversation. So he said your wife is a reflection of you. Her happiness is a reflection of how much you pour into her. Typically, traditionally, you hear that women are supposed to hold themselves a certain way because when they're out in public, they're a representation of the husband. Doesn't matter if he's pouring in or not. So what I'm saying is that the representation of the wife, is that have direct correlation to him pouring into her, or she's a representation no matter if he's pouring into her or not?
I feel like it depends on the person. I'm gonna be real with you. You know, when y'all see me out and I be talking to Princess about luxury items and things like that, I want my wife to. That's what I want my wife wearing. You get what I'm saying? Like they got the Louis V, you got the Louis V. They got the Yves Saint Laurent, you got the Yves Saint Laurent. You know what I mean? You got the Tiffany. I want you to have the Tiffany's because, even if she's not big on jewelry or those things, I want you. That's an extension of me. So I want people to know that that's the way that I'm. That's the way that I'm. What I'm doing for her. So I do think. Then I would find ways to allow her to whatever. I think the confidence that kind of comes from those things, even material things, sometimes, as vain as people try to make it, we all maybe have something that we rely upon that may be worthless to other people or overvalue. But I would find whatever that thing that whether it's her hair, whether it's her nails, whether it's the car she drives, whether it's the home she lives in, right? I would try to pour into that just so she could have that confidence to know that she's taken care of. Because as much as we like to think that people are, or our wives, and just speaking for men, maybe this is wrong, I don't know, but just me think, it's my thoughts and my words. Yeah. As much as we like to think that they're okay with just being loved, I think there is an expectation for them to have things and to have nice things. And I make it a point. To me, it means a lot to me for my wife to have those nice things, to be able to look at something and say, I want that. And for me to be able to go get it for her. That means something as a man. To me, that means something to me.
Respect. It's case by case, marriage by marriage, but I agree with you, brother. I get where you're coming from. Ladies, what's your thoughts? I'm gonna go to you first, Brittany. I've been going to Asia first all night.
I agree. I think your reflection.
You agree with what the man said?
No, Louis just now that what he said. And it is case by case. I will say that, but it doesn't matter if you're materialistic or not. Ultimately, like, you're happy when you see that your wife is happy and your man is happy, or vice versa. You know, it makes you feel good, like you're doing something right to see them happy. That's the balance there. But in terms of what the video was saying, it goes both ways. I do feel like if you are pouring into your wife, and it is a reflection, she's going to be walking around. It's so much easier because temptation is everywhere, right? There's always going to be somebody that looks better, talks better, I don't know, does something better that you're attracted to. But it's easier for me to be like, I'm straight because I got what I got at home, or I'm not even entertaining. I'm not looking. I'm not whatever I have to do to put that up, because I'm happy at home. And I on the outside, right? I'm a reflection of my husband. When he goes out, reflection of it. It's a reflection of the household and the foundation that you create and you build. Ultimately, when you step out those doors, then all of that comes into play. Everything that's built in the home.
110%. I think. Okay, Asia. I'm sorry. I was about to go on a tangent.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what everyone is saying. I think and I've talked about this a lot actually. Like that's his take is very similar to my take. I do think
For
that
sure.
a woman is a reflection of her husband. Um I do think that to Lewis's point, like there is a certain level of confidence that a woman has when she's confident in her man being a man. Um, because
For
on the
sure.
flip side of that, because what I started to think about when he was talking, I'm like, yeah, because you could definitely see it when a woman has a bum at home. Like, because
Mm.
either she's overcompensating and she's more independent, she's now doing all the things herself and all of that because she does not feel that her man can provide. Or she's more insecure. Um, she's it's like you can tell, I feel like just as much as we can tell when things are right at home, you can definitely tell when things are not right at home because either she's out wilding with her friends all the time,
For sure.
she's not worried about going home because what is she going home to anyway? She's now feeling like she has to be the man and the woman of the house, but having to put on a face for her friends because she has a man. um, so I do think if we can see the opposite, I think, yeah, I think that the woman's a reflection of the man.
Wholeheartedly agree. I'm two things I'm gonna tap into. Two things real quick. I love that Lewis said that she can get what she wants. I think that's bigger than me being able to get it. Like it's the fact that she wants it, which makes it valuable. The second thing that I
Mm.
agree with what he said is
Good.
that her happiness is a reflection of how he treats her. Because I look back to the sex thing that you said earlier, right, Asia? Not trying to be funny. Like I view a woman's happiness similar to how you was explaining arousing a woman, right? I think because women are emotional by nature, the way you make them happy takes a lot more work than a guy. A guy's simple, right? Like it was just Father's Day. Salute to all the fathers in minute 56. But like, look, like even Lewis's gift, my gift. I'm gonna be real. Like I didn't say this before, but like my son's teachers made a shirt with both their pictures on it. Said best dad in the world. I was good to go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that to say I think when a woman's happiness has a lot more layers to it, because I think that so when a woman's happy, when you say pour in, and this is not disregarding what you said, Louis, this is just my opinion from a different aspect. Like you've put in work to learn what she needs.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've gone through some things with your lady, maybe childbirth, whether it be loss, grief, whatever the case may be, it's gonna take some stabbing at to make sure you can realign her happiness again. You know what I mean? So I think her happiness is a really big I think her happiness is a really big sign of how much a guy's poured into her because a woman's happiness can be complex at times because they in tune with their emotions.
I got two words for you.
What's up, bro?
Jada Pinkett.
Ah, man. I don't even want to go there. Elaborate. Fuck it, we
You
here.
don't think I don't like when what we know, we ain't in the house. We're not in the home.
Yes, we are, man. Talk like we
Well,
are. Let's
they
talk
did
tough.
let us in. They did let us in. It seemed
Yeah,
to me
yeah.
that Will poured into her in every way possible. And she just did not love that man. And the way she responded to him did not appear to be a reflection of what he did not give her.
Love it.
Can I just say something real quick to that? But
For
I think it's
sure.
because, and I think, yeah, I think it's because Will did not give her, and Will could not have given her what she needed. Will was
Agreed.
never going to be able to do that. So I think it is a matter of, to what y'all were saying earlier, like knowing your partner, right? And thinking like, okay, is it more important for me for my woman to be a reflection of me, right? As for the things that I want, right? For her? Or am I also considering what does it take to actually make her happy, right? Those layers that Keenan's talking about. And then having a man up if you know it's not you. Because even what I do think what was going on, and Jada was kind of talking about it, is like, I think that he knew that what he was doing was not working. And I knew he knew it was he just wasn't he just could not make her happy. But because of that, he started to do things to overcompensate,
Hmm.
which pushed her further away anyway because it was never going to work. But I think him as a man was like, okay, if I continue to provide, if I continue to do these things, then it might still be a reflection that at least we have a home, a functional home,
Hmm.
right? And then in the end, it turns out that wasn't a thing. But
Salute. I agree. Any last thoughts on pouring into your lady? And fellas, remember, you can't really make them happy for real. They just act. No, I'm just joking.
No, that's true.
I'm not gonna start at that. Hey, next, man, we got one scenario, then we get into the topics of the night. One scenario. All right, man. Scenario. Our scenario for the night. At family gatherings, conversations often center around maintaining the status quo, preserving customs without questioning their relevance. As a young adult, I found myself increasingly at odds with these discussions. I saw how some traditions perpetrated outdated biases or limited personal growth. One pivotal moment was during a heated debate about career choices. The family tradition dictated a specific path, one that guarantees stability and respectability in our community. However, my aspirations are different. I wanted to pursue a career in arts. I chose a choice deemed frivolous and impractical by my family. Navigating this conflict has been a journey of self-discovery and resilience. I've had the challenge of deeply rooted beliefs while respecting where they come from. It's a balance of honoring my upbringing while forging my own path. I just want y'all thoughts on how to navigate the balance of respecting my family's wishes and my beliefs. So what's y'all thoughts on that? What I get from it, to paraphrase, is you have a young person that's against the way their family that's against their family upbringing. Their family wants them to do one thing that's very career oriented. They're kind of creative, want to go this way. How do you honor your family's wishes and balance what you want all at the same time? What's y'all thoughts on that? I know Lewis's thought.
What is it?
Fuck him.
You right. The only time I think it matters, now that I'm transitioning to, man, I'm about to have a teenager in a couple of years, which is crazy. But now that I'm transitioning to that side, if I am responsible for paying for your education, then I do have a say. I do feel that way. But I feel like I would. But if you are creating your own path, using your own resources, then I have no choice but to support your decision.
So I agree with Lewis halfway. I feel like, and respectfully, I'll say that maybe because I'm a product of changing my mind so many times and my parents not having an influence on that, they just wanted me to do that, right? So I feel like even if I put up monetarily, as long as you're in school and doing what you're like, if I'm paying for education, that means you're getting the education that you need to be whatever it is that you want to be. And you're not around here skipping classes. I'm just out here wasting money, because then I'm not, there is no benefit for anybody out of this, right? So that's the only thing. But I do feel like I'm with you, Lewis, in terms of why are we put in a space where we have to fulfill our family's wishes if it's something that we don't want to do? You're ultimately, because when you become an adult, right, and you make the career choices if you're entering in a career, you're an adult. You will then go out, you will create your own family, you will raise your own family, and biblically, like, you leave your mama and your daddy and you create your own people. So I feel like, with that being said, if I valued my family's wishes and I became, let's say, a doctor, when I really wanted to become a lawyer or something that benefit me, and I feel like I would thrive, then what
I don't think they will argue that, though, Britt. I don't think if they wanted you to be a doctor and you chose lawyer, they will argue that. I think,
or let's take it as far, because he said the arts, right? So maybe like a musician or an artist. He said the arts. Is that what he said?
So you have doctor expectations on you, and you want to be a rapper.
A rapper's a little extreme. That's not a career choice, but that's not. I'll hold my thoughts on rappers, because we've had that. I just feel like a rapper's not a choice. But if you do have a talent, Your parents should have observed that. Your family should know that you have this talent. If you're a dancer, if you're an artist, if you're like, they should already know that's where the passion lies. So why wouldn't they support that? That's
a great,
crazy.
that's a great point. I'm sorry to interject. I used to be like more of a, I'm not gonna say blue collar, but more of like careers that we were familiar with or privy to. But seeing my daughter and her passion for dance, if she were to come to me and her mom and I and say, I want to dance for a living and not go to school, I would support that because I see it as a passion. So I agree. I understand that. I do. Yeah.
I'm gonna push back a little bit. If she identified it at her age, that's very different than deciding that post high school. Like you're able to curate it from now. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
But like, what if she came to you and you didn't see the background work or the passion that you see now? And that's the route she wanted to take without you knowing her passion or seeing her route to get there. Would you have the same support?
It depends on if she's really talented, if she has the talent or the drive for it. You know, people uncover things at different points and stages in their life, talents that they probably didn't know they had. So I would say it depends on, and you know your child, so I think it depends on their response and how passionate they are about it.
And the arts is something, I'll say this, the arts is something you can't really pick up and learn. Like like if your entire 12 years you went through school and then you get to college and all of a sudden I'm a dance major. I ain't never seen you do a two-step in your life, right? Like that. Can you dance? Ultimately, why am I putting money into something I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not something that you can learn versus going to school to be a doctor, lawyer, all these main blue collar, like you said, careers. You're learning the tools to be that. That's very textbook. We can all do it if we really wanted to. Versus the arts, it's a God-given talent.
Yeah. Take their ass to school. Go ahead, say it, Asia. Take your ass to school. Say
No,
it.
I'm conflicted only because and I've said this before, like my dad was the complete opposite. My dad was like, figure out what you love to do, the money will come, and so like and there are moments and there are times that I'm like, I wish he would have pushed me to be in like corporate America or something like that because it has a different level of stability that I now value now. So like that I didn't have that perspective because the only thing that I was worried about was my happiness. I was not thinking about inflation. I was not thinking about all these other things that my dad did have, like knowledge of. So that's on one hand, that's where I'm at with it. This is why I'm struggling, y'all. But then on the other hand, I also do think about the times that we are in. So somebody can very much be a content creator or an influencer. There are rappers that I have never heard of before in my life until I got on TikTok. And now, like the kid, I'm JP or whoever he is, right? Like we heard him the whole time we were just at the podcast party, you know what I'm saying? And he started on TikTok and from Milwaukee or something like that. So I do think looking at the times, it's very different, but I guess I'm saying all this to say it's about a plan. So it's like, okay, cool. You want to be an artist. What type of artist do you want to be? How are you going to be able to survive? What is the stability of this particular thing? Because I think at the end of it all, at the bottom of it, the reason why parents don't care if this person were to say, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, is because of stability. So if you can also show that whatever lane you want to go into, it will be stable for you, where your parents don't have to be worried that you're going to end up on the street and can't pay rent. And now they have to legit support your whole lifestyle because they wanted to coddle you to make sure you were happy. I'm okay with that. I think that no matter what it is, you need to have a plan. And that I don't think that his parents or their parents could they might be upset, but when they see, oh, he's actually successful, they're actually successful, we can't really be mad.
Yeah. I just got a quick 2 cents. I think the young adult part bothers me just a tad bit. Like, not saying you don't have time, but like what Lewis was talking about his daughter, identifying that a little early, and I know I could deal with it. But young adult to me, let's go 19, 20, 21, 22, and you want to dive into that, my compromise would be like, can we just have like some type of income while you're working on it? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be one that costs you. It doesn't have to be a career. You know, to me, jobs and careers are different. Like, let's just get some income, show me some responsibility, and you go chase. You know what I mean? Or I'm more likely to be like, hey, look, let's give it 3 years and see where you get and reevaluate. And give them the freedom of movement. You know what I'm saying? Put the accountability on them. But young adult is a bit aggressive. Like, I should have heard this before you got to, you know, just reading it again, looking at it, it's like increasingly at odds. So you kind of disagree before we got to this point. Kind of start having those conversations beforehand. So to me, in my opinion, if I could leave somebody with anything, is like, once you feel it, you don't have to disrespect your upbringing, but I don't think there's nothing wrong with voicing your difference about it. Like, I may not feel the same way y'all feel about it. They may not be receptive, but I think that part, young adult, what we doing? What we doing? Because Asia, even with your point, that's still 1% of people on TikTok that blow up. So I'm not going to, you know, say my kid can't do it, but that's just a tad bit aggressive. Tad bit.
No, I agree with you. I don't think that that's a thing, but I think people are seeing that now.
For sure.
JP was in college, young people. He was in college.
Yes, he was for music. Let's clear that up. And he's actually a beautiful musician and understands music. So you're right.
Yeah. Respect. All right, man. We got the last part of the show tonight. The topics of the night, man. The topics of the night. Let's bring it in. All right, man. The topics of the night is going to be me and Brittany tonight. So we're going to start with a nice little video. Nice little video that I think is going to get things super popular. So it's another video, but it's a part of our topic conversation. I'll show the video. Britt, you can give a little context if you would like, and then we'll go from there.
It comes to me and say, Daddy, my husband cheated on me. I'm going to say, Princess, is he a good provider? Yes. Does he take good care of you? Yes. You ever disrespect you, raise his hand to you? No. Outside of this cheating, is he what you need in a man? Yes, he is. Was this thing purely sexual? Was it a hit and miss? Or is he really feeling this woman? If she tells me this was a hit and miss, go have a conversation with him about his infidelity. Let him know you do not like it. I will never tell you not to leave a man because he cheated. You want to leave him because he cheated? Go ahead and do it. But I want to ask you a question. How many men you expect to find out there who are never going to go outside that marriage at least occasionally to experience another woman? I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's not realistic to leave a good man for an oops.
I don't even need to give context. I just want to know y'all thoughts on that video.
I want to go to Lewis first. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Lewis.
Hey, man, Dr. Umar is my dog, but his stance on polygamy is widely known. And I think that he is a bit biased in this statement. People make mistakes, right? People make mistakes. I think you should not put that type of pressure on someone to choose. They got to listen to their heart. They got to understand what they're willing to put up with, because once you accept that, right? He said you should accept it, but he didn't say, you know, creating boundaries for yourself or being secure in yourself or being in a place to where you can accept that and it doesn't change, right? You got to know who you are if you're going to take somebody back from a situation like that. You shouldn't assume that I think it's wrong to assume that someone should just because of what's out there. It could be someone better. Just as you could say it's something worse, it could be something better. So I think it's a biased opinion, and I don't agree with it.
Interesting. Asia? Oh man.
I feel a way only because I have had this conversation like with a dude who straight up told me this, was just like, don't expect that men are not going to, you know, like, it's going to happen. Doesn't matter who you're with. He straight up told me, and was just like,
I don't agree with that.
Like, you, and I guess my part is like, to Dr. Umar's point around, is it that it's not like not realistic and all the things? I do think that there are a number of people that cheat on their people, right? Even if it's like a one night, whatever. I do think that it happens. Um, and yeah, it's like, mistake, whatever, blah blah blah. The part for me that I guess is a little bit outside of what he was saying is from the woman's perspective. And this is why I'm like, it just sucks so bad, right? To think that there are men that really do believe this, that for them, they're like, okay, my wife is my wife, but I will just do whatever because I'm a man and it happens and this is what we do. And there's nothing that the woman can do. She could be the most perfect person. And this is what I told the person when he told me this. I said, so you're telling me that there's nothing that I can do as a woman, that me being me, and like, it's like, oh, you're perfect, you're this and this. And I said, and I will still get cheated on.
So
that's like, that sucks. I feel like
they kind of right.
Whoa, let me put the mic down. Go ahead, bro.
I think that.
Hold on. How are they right?
It's a lot more. That's more people's experience than not. I will say that. So he's saying that because that's the majority of the people's experiences, and I will say that. And from what I know, right, from what I've seen, people I've talked to, though it's not my experience, that is the case. I will say he was saying that to protect you.
Yeah, that's why we're not. That's why we're not together.
So I'll go here with it, man. So I'm gonna say this. I don't think it's gonna be very popular. I'm gonna be super honest. I think you catch a guy before he experiences too much or after he experiences it a lot, both different ends of the spectrum, he's more willing to not cheat. I think when you fall into the window while a guy is experiencing things is when it gets dangerous the way he's speaking of. Let me explain what I mean. Like if you catch a guy super early in the game, hasn't done a whole lot out here, he's probably gonna fall in love with you. His mind is not even going there. Then we flip to the other end of somebody that's been through life experience. He's like, man, I done did that. I done been there. I'm ready to settle down now. We see that happen a lot, right? I think where this window get dangerous is when women catch guys in that phase of still experience and wants him to cut those things off when he's in the midst of experiencing those things. If you catch him before, if you catch him after, it's less of a conversation. You catch him right in the middle of experiencing, you may deal with what he's talking about. Now, I will say this. He said a oops. He didn't say a chronic cheater. He didn't say my man doing it all the time. He slipped up. People make mistakes. Like I do not condone cheating. However, I think where we go wrong is not acknowledging that it can happen on the right day at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? So like, you can't justify, but there's situations where I've always said this, where you can look and be like, okay, I hate you. You shouldn't have did it, but you fucked up. But I see why it happened. I'm not saying stay or go, but I think it's realistic to believe that. That's just me. He didn't say the dude was cheating all the time. He said it was a oops, meaning it happened once.
I think I'll say this. I was with him at the beginning, right? To your point, Keenan, he did say he said he would ask his daughter, was it a hit or miss or was this longevity, whatever. That part of it is fine, right? Because then that's up to you to kind of sit through that, go through that. However you want to handle that in your marriage is on you. You're going to work through it, whatever. Where he went wrong was when he said, it's unrealistic to think that men don't occasionally step outside of their marriage. That's crazy. Because now you didn't just picked up all the men and threw them in one boat, that they all occasionally step outside of their marriage. And that's not the case. To your point, if you catch a man in his prime, he might be out there still in these streets. If you catch him after, he might have tunnel vision for one. And some men are so, I don't know, some men are so strung out on their wives and ready, and they don't have eyes for anybody else, right? So I just think it's crazy to put all men in one box and be like, yeah, if this was a oops, go talk to him, because it's not realistic to think that no man on this earth basically is not going to do this to you. So if he's checking off all these boxes and everything is okay, then maybe you should sit down and kind of figure this out, because another man is going to come and do the exact same thing, because it's unrealistic for you to believe that no man is going to do this at all to you. That's crazy to me.
I'm gonna say something that's probably not popular, man. I don't condone cheating. I do believe men have the biggest eyes for their wife. But I think sometimes in this conversation and commitment, like, dudes don't get enough credit for their self-control. Like, we still have eyes. We still like to hunt. But no, we're making conscious and logical decisions not to do that. Like, we look, don't get it wrong. We love our wife. You get what I'm saying? Like, yes, everything you're saying is true. But like this, go ahead, brother.
Listen, a part of what, in my opinion, just my experience, a part of me that gives my confidence is the attention that I get from women.
It's real.
Right? That air that I have about myself, that confidence, some of that comes from me getting looks, or from me getting compliments, respectful compliments, but for me getting those compliments that attracted you to me to begin with. Right? And like, there have been instances where I just have wanted people to compliment me for my own ego. You get what I'm saying? Just to know that I'm still there, but I would not put myself in position to take it somewhere further. Right. But I think sometimes that's the case for men. Because I've been in a position where I wanted that to feel that way, though I wouldn't take it a step further. I just wanted to feel it. I feel like women feel like that too. I think it's in our nature, especially when you get it from one person all the time, right? Sometimes it validates you when you maybe hear from someone else that has nothing to gain from you, right? It seems more genuine and sincere. But I'm going to go off topic for 1 second. But this is why I think that you have to marry somebody that you're attracted to, because for me, when I look at my wife, and I'm so grateful, I'm like, oh, y'all ain't messing with her. So I'm not even about to, I get compliments on my wife all the time. Sometimes I get offended. I'm like, oh, okay, but she with me too. But no, but listen, that to me, but listen, but hear me out. But I think that's important, because it's like, there's no, even what you said with the wandering eyes, even if I thought about it, I'm like, they ain't mess with Andre. So I'm like, yeah, it ain't worth it.
But the point I was making is, I don't think sometimes in those instances guys get enough credit for self-control.
For sure.
It's like because that's what it goes back to. You know what I'm saying? Because if he didn't have it, those compliments will always be an opportunity to go jump. But they not. Because of the self-control. So to the video sense and to that, I'm not saying that, like Lewis just said, like, his eyes are still biggest for his wife, but like, ain't nobody simping to that point. Like, you still look, you still can look, you still see. So like, sometimes in commitment situations, I don't think the self-controls get acknowledged as much. Like, nah.
For men, yeah.
Especially if you got something going for yourself. Like, some niggas don't need self-control because it ain't coming no way. You see what I'm saying? But if it is, and you don't, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm only talking from a man's perspective because I'm a guy. I absolutely think we have self-control too. I'm not saying that they don't. But like, sometimes we don't give enough credit on, like, maybe I love you, I'm attracted to you, I'll do anything for you, but maybe my morals and values of how I treat you mean more than anything else. I'm not going to do that. That's my own self-control. But that's my spiel. My fault. I went off on a little tangent.
I like that though, but and real quick, I'll say something to that though, because I don't think that we are always privy to like how often the situations present themselves, I guess, to the guy. So like, for instance, like, it's like at what point, unless we're just having general conversation like how we are now, right? Where this would come up and it's like, like, yeah, like, shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? But if you mean like in the context of a relationship, are you saying it should be like oh my gosh, I know you cheated this one time, but thank you for not cheating on me those 20 other times. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at what point are we celebrating? Like, what would that look like? You know what I'm saying? To give, and once Keenan, I totally agree with you. I'm not saying that I actually totally agree with you. I'm just saying, in what context are we then celebrating? Like, because you said it doesn't happen enough. When would it happen? You know what I mean? You got me?
So I was talking about dudes that's never cheated before, not the ones. I wasn't saying that. I was saying guys that never stepped out.
Okay.
But I will say this: I've always been this guy. And Asia, I'm gonna answer your question from a real place because of this. I'm gonna answer your question from a very real place. What I think a lot of people lack to, fuck it, I'm gonna just say it. If you have some, let's eliminate a couple factors. You're married, you have something going for yourself, and you have a level of attraction. I'm not judging people's physical look, right? I would say damn near weekly. The opportunity presents itself weekly. You, as a person, man or woman, however you want to flip it, you control how those interactions happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't think I'm phrasing like, oh, nah, I'm so thankful you didn't do it more. I've never been one to think things can't happen. That's just me. However you want to flip it. It served me well to this point. I have a very optimistic look on a lot of things, right? But shit, if something happened, I'm gonna use the opposite. If my wife did something, you know what I'm saying? I'd be upset. I'd be all destroyed. But like, if you gave me the truth and I can run it back and I don't remove context, can I tell why it happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, there are situations where your logical part of your brain ain't working. Now, you can cuss that person out for getting in that place where your brain ain't working, or you can look at it for, I ain't say for what it is, but it happens though. You know what I mean? I would probably be more upset that you put yourself in that position than I would that you did it. Like, because I gave you more respect from that, from an intellectual level. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But nah, but once you do it once, don't do it again. If you do it twice, bro, you done. If you get away with it once, don't do it again. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. So can I ask a question? Do y'all telling me y'all don't get hit on weekly? Does it not happen every week?
No.
Asia, man, I'm about to make you.
Asia be locked up in the house.
I would say that's probably why. But I will say this, Keenan, and I'm being for real. I'm being for real.
All right.
And this is real life example. Okay. Y'all know how I am in the gym. That's my place. I love being in the gym. That's usually where I go. I go to church and the gym. That's where I'm at. People don't
two hot spots.
People don't talk to me. Matter of fact, God's honest truth. When I was living in Miami, people did not talk to me at the gym at all until the last 2 weeks of me about to move to Miami. Dead serious. People did, and maybe it's because I let my guard down after a while, because I'm like, nobody's talking to me. Why? You know what I'm saying? We're in the gym. But on a serious tip, some people really don't get approached like that.
So, question. I'm sorry. We here. It's Monday night. I just heard you say that the 2 weeks before you left, you're like, damn, ain't nobody talk to me. Let me open up myself more.
Nope, that's not what I said.
Okay, let her guard down. Let her guard down.
Let her guard down.
And I said I let my guard down after a while because no one was talking to me.
Cool. I'm sorry. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So that means you went into the gym knowing or feeling like you should be approached, but it didn't happen. Nope. So why you feel like you had to let your guard down because nobody was saying anything?
No, I'm saying like as a woman that goes to the gym, I know the type of environment that I'm in, especially because of how I work out. I'm not a cardio chick. I lift weights. So I know that the area that I'm usually in at the gym is usually surrounded by a lot of men. Mm-hmm. So in that context, just being smart, I know people are looking at me, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm saying I finally got to a point at the gym, and I was there for a while, that I said, okay, cool. It's chill. Like, nobody has approached me. So now I don't have to be so uptight. I don't have to be thinking, okay, can I not do this move at the gym because this person's looking at me? That's what you get what I mean?
Got you. Yeah, I got you now. I took it in a different way. I thought you were saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me go with the, never mind. All right.
No.
All right.
Nothing changed.
I got you, Brittany. It's on you. Next one is on you. Great video.
Okay. All right. Swinging it over to tattoos and your ex. Real serious question. I had a conversation the other day about tattoos and their meanings. So I want to know how y'all feel. How would y'all feel if your spouse had a tattoo of their ex somewhere on their body? Would you feel, and it's, again, they got it before y'all got married. You knew it was there. How would you feel? Does placement matter? And would you ask to get it covered or removed or whatever?
Yes and yes.
Man, yes and no. Why the fuck is it like? So I think it's a red flag that it wasn't covered when we got serious. When we met, I can't trip. We talking marriage and you don't think to cover it? So I'm not gonna ask you. How you say again?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think there should be any questions about it until we are en route to marriage. I don't think I have a say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if we en route to marriage, then we're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah, I ain't getting on one knee with another name on you. That sounds crazy to me. That's insane. And I'm gonna be double pissed. I'm gonna be double pissed off if we in action and I see it and you ain't tell me.
Yeah, placement matters.
Yeah. Sis got a tramp stamp, Devin with angel wings.
Yep.
Yo, you're wild.
Or on the chest. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
It's a rough ride.
Like, so Louis, let me ask you a question, bro. On the chest, if she tells you on the chest, does it hold the same weight if you see it on the chest without her telling you?
Man, if I see it without her telling me, I'm like, is that your son? Your dad? What's that? Like, who is that? You know what I mean? And if you don't tell me, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. But I'm a talkative guy, so I probably would have asked a random question like that.
Yeah, nah, I'm not going for that.
I mean, like if you have any tattoos, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? We probably would have had that conversation.
She tell you, yeah, I got one on, you know what I'm saying, XYZ of him. What's the next? What's the follow up?
Let me see it. That's literally what I would have said.
Yeah, nah.
Are you not getting married? Are you not getting married if she doesn't want to get it removed or covered?
Nah, I ain't tripping. We gonna get. Oh, she doesn't want to get it removed.
Yeah.
I would have to figure out the psychology behind that.
Our relationship is over. Over. Fuck, hey man, I'm not about to play. It's over. Oh, no, I ain't getting it removed. Okay, so let me get you removed. We out. No, there's no way.
Can I ask a question, like a follow-up question to that? Does it matter if she has a matching tattoo with that person? So it's not necessarily their name, but she has a matching tattoo with that person.
Lie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Lie to me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. But I think it does matter.
It does.
I think so too.
It's a connection. It's a symbol of connection. It's like having if she kept his hoodie, if she kept his jacket or his shirt, like why is this around?
Oh, dog. Like, and I'm gonna tell you what's really burning me up. It's like you gonna try to walk down the alley with a little like another because I'm gonna tell you what's insane. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sorry, Monday Night Crew listeners who gonna see this. Sometimes women can be vicious, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, think about this in context. That's vicious to have a whole nother person's name on you, and you arguing with me about taking it off. But I'm supposed to give you my last name, so you switch your last name, but he tatted on your body. Come on, man.
That's crazy.
So wait. So I have a question because this is how the question came about. What if this person had passed away, right? And they were significant in their life. They got it. They got well before I met my spouse, and it's there because it symbolizes whatever to her. Now you have this conversation. She lets you know because it's somewhere you can see it, right? They passed away. The person not coming back, so there's no real reason for you to get mad because you can't fight a dead person.
For sure.
Are you still staying in that relationship? Does the conversation change?
I think if they were married and had kids, I wouldn't be so attached to that. I wouldn't be so, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be so attached to it. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Because I could imagine, like, if something would happen with my wife, I had my wife's name tattooed on me and something happened to her, that would be a process.
I'm not getting married again, so it wouldn't be no issue. So I'm good on that. So
my boy live tonight.
You said what?
My boy live tonight, man. Let's go.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm being real with you. Like, I get Lou's example, right? I respect it, but we ain't getting married, so you know what I mean? Like, I think that person passed away, right? If it's a good quality tattoo, I might consider it. That's some nice work. You can't get that covered up. If you got a jail tat of old buddy, it got to go, man. That makes it worse. I don't want to know what phase of life he was in. Like, like if it's some high quality, like you thought about this, I might let it slide. If somebody did that,
even if it's on her hip, going down her thigh, if it's a nice quality tat, you still don't care. Does placement not
I'm
matter?
gonna be real with you, because he's no longer with us, and if that tattoo look good on that thigh, I'm okay with that. What bothers me is like if you got like an ink pen hooked up to a car battery type tat. Whoa, like let's evaluate this. I'm just saying, like, why do you want to keep that on you? Period, though. Represent my man in a different way. We got money now. I'm judging it either way. Nah, so I will say this. I'm still not. We got to do something. Maybe get his zodiac sign. RIP. We got to shift from that. I'm sorry, because that's would y'all do that if he had his ex lady tattooed on him?
Go ahead, Asia. I'll let you answer first.
And she passed away, or just
no. That's not where we started. That's where we ended. Just period.
Oh, I'm not a fan.
Oh, okay.
At all. It's especially because as a person with a lot of tattoos, like I get it, right? Like you get tattoos in different seasons. I also have it's nothing crazy, but I also have a cover up. So I'm saying like that to say like I know how easy it is to get something covered up.
Mm-hmm.
Because
what do you have covered up, Asia?
I got it's right here. It's just 1968 that I got it. The tattoo artist messed up because I didn't go to my regular dude. So then I had to go back to my regular guy so he could fix it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's nothing crazy. But yeah, but even with that, it's like it's nothing to get your tattoo covered up because it should be okay because you're not in that same place anymore. You're no longer with that person. You're no longer in that season of your life. And so for me, it's disrespectful to the person that you are now.
Mm-hmm.
Because like why are you so attached to the person that you were then?
For
you know what I'm saying? So for me, that's that. I'm not a fan of the matching tattoos. Not a fan. Not a fan of any of those things. But if he had like a shorty's name and she passed away.
And I talk about it all the time, Asia.
I would need to know backstory though, because I'm like, did y'all know each other since like the womb?
I talk about it all the time to you too.
That's not happening. Like, it's not, and y'all know me. Like, I have an attitude for real. And so, like, there's things it's not flying with me. Like,
come on, man. And I'm gonna say this, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this. You know what? I'm sorry, Brittany. You was at the Asia.
No,
I apologize.
Go ahead, partner.
Oh, it's like the first time I felt like we was a team. I ain't gonna get on you about DC. Come on, I ain't gonna get on you. Hey, but Brady, I'm sorry, I've been talkative.
The answer is easy for me. It's no, dead or alive. I don't care. The name gotta go. Don't care.
What if he asked you for you to get the third matching tattoo so y'all would be like in unity?
In what?
Like y'all get you get the same tat that those two had.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Absolutely,
you never know.
Absolutely not. Like my thing is they're dead. They're not coming back. So you looking at that tattoo does what for you? Why do you want a memory? Bye. They're gone. Meet them in heaven. And the other thing is if they're alive, that's even worse. And my name is not on you. Like I don't have any tattoos, so I don't like needles. I personally just don't. But Mike does. My husband has tattoos. So for me, somebody that's already done that, to Asia's point, who has a lot of them already, and my name is not nowhere on you, but you still walking around here and we locked in with somebody else's name on you. Absolutely.
I got an ego question. Would y'all let a man attach y'all name on him?
Like, would he tap my name on him?
Would y'all let a man tap you all's name on him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's your dumb self.
Ego for sure. You're the idiot.
Hey, like, hold on. We talk about male ego all the time. We talk about these things. So you're willing to do the exact same thing that you're not going to allow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a decision that you made.
Because I feel when women get like dudes' names tattooed on them, I feel like that's dumb. So on the other, I say it all the time. I think that's stupid. In the same, so if he decides to get my name on him, shout out to me.
That is insane.
Shout out to me. How is that insane?
So you'll allow something that you won't let happen.
That's your decision. That's your body.
Oh, now my body matters when it comes to you, but if it's somebody else, it don't matter what's going on. Get it off of you.
Yeah, because that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
what if he offers to attach your name over hers?
Go ahead.
Over hers?
Go ahead. Like, cover it up. Go ahead. Connect the dots. Make that A a B. Figure it out.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Like, what if he does that? Like, or what if he says, like, I'll attach your name too, but hers got to stay?
No.
No, man. What?
All right, my bad.
Just draw a line and then put their name under front underneath.
Oh man! Oh my God! Yo, that is hilarious. Nah, but for real, we're not doing that, man. No. We're not doing that. So the next question, and the last question of the night is: what are y'all thoughts on checking in with your spouses in two different ways? So we're going to talk about like the emotional check-ins, where you at, how you feeling, how you living, and then what are y'all thoughts on checking in as far as in the literal sense? Hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Does where you're at matter? If you're at home and you go out matter? If you're away on a trip, does it matter? What's your thoughts of checking in with your spouse on the tip? Like, hey, things been a little off. Let me check in with you. And also in the literal sense of like, yeah, I'm away from the crib. Let me call and let her know what I'm doing. I'm with the boys. We out of state. Am I checking in, calling home, making sure it's straight? What's y'all thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
Okay, go ahead, Asia. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Asia.
No, I'm gonna check in. I don't think that
out of state with your girls. No. You call her.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on FaceTime at all. Not with my guy. If I'm out with my girls, like I'll send like a text update. Might hear your voice. I'll send a couple voice notes. But I'm not gonna sit there and be on FaceTime with my guy while I'm with my girls. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Even if FaceTiming is y'all's norm.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It wouldn't be like but it wouldn't be like I get to a place and then I switch up. It would probably be a conversation of like, hey, I'm out with the girls. I'll do my, I'll check in. I'll let you know what's going on. But then again, I know how I am. So it'd be like, oh, this is what I'm wearing tonight. So it'd be like, I'm sending pictures and all the things, but I'm not going to sit there on FaceTime. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. It'd be a lot of other buns and stuff out on girls trips too. You gotta be careful of that.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts, Lewis?
I don't mind checking in. I think if it depends on who I'm with, right? It depends on if it's somewhere I've been before. If it's somewhere I haven't been before, I'll probably check in a bit more frequently. But if it's somewhere I've been before, like when I went on this trip, DC, I didn't feel like I had to give my wife updates as much, right? Because kind of the routine was in place. Mm-hmm. Locally, I've not checked in before and got in trouble. But it's just, sometimes I'm maybe caught up in the moment or having conversations or whatever. But I think huh?
That tab be open.
No, someone else's tab was open. We was drinking on their tab, and that's when I have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
Excuse me.
Nah.
Hey, bro, don't get me in trouble, dog. I think I think respectful is the respectful thing to do. So I don't mind checking in. I agree with Asia on the FaceTime thing. It takes away from the experience because I'm here with these people, right? So when I insert you, it's like I'm trying to insert you in the experience in the moment, and this moment ain't for you. This moment's not for you. Respectfully.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to stab at, or you want me to go?
My answer is similar. Don't FaceTime me. Like,
why? I'm just asking out here. Why can't I FaceTime? I want to see my lady real quick.
If he's out, if he's on the trip, I don't.
No, you're on the trip.
But I'm saying both ways. If he's on the trip or if I'm on the trip, nobody FaceTimes nobody. For what? That's stupid. I want you to, I mean, if it's a quick, hey, if I'm out now, if I'm in the hotel or whatever, and we get dressed and I got 5 minutes downtime, a quick hello, yeah, that's fine. But I'm here. So I'm obviously getting ready to go and do something. And I'm taking away from, I see you every day. Like I'm taking away from the time that I could be getting ready. Like, because it takes more to FaceTime than it does to actually pick up the phone and call somebody. I can put you on speaker and still move around. Versus FaceTime, I have to hold my phone up so you can see me. That's the purpose of it. For that, you could have called. So I don't, and when the shoe's on the other foot, like you're out with your boys and they're all, come on, bro, let's do it. And I got to hear all of that. And I'm trying to talk to you. That's stupid. I'm not FaceTiming you. Enjoy yourself. I just want to know you all right.
Is that annoying?
Yes.
Are you always just having fun?
Huh?
No, it's have fun. I'm home. Like, let me be home at peace. Be there. Do what you got to do.
You was always like that?
All the things. I have always been like that. I have always been like that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
My biggest thing is to let me know you're okay.
Safe. Yep. Checking in the morning, checking at night. That's what I've always.
Nah, I'm having fun. Don't tell me when to do it. If I'm having fun, I'm doing what I do.
Absolutely not okay. That's where you get yourself in trouble. Because
hey man, hey look, man. Hey, Louis, hey, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, partner. I'm sorry. All right. So we got like, so check in. Yeah, I'm not a FaceTimer anyway. Shout out to Samsung. But we're very much aligned with the things y'all just said. Like it's like in the morning, because typically the next morning you chilling, laying down, trying to recover. And then it's like what y'all got going for the day, boom, 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 bow. And then probably before I always try to, if I'm in the same time zone, at least try to rap before you go to bed. Like, hey, what up? What you doing? Da da da. Whatever time that may be. Me personally being really transparent, we grew into that because we used to take guys and girls trips really young. So it was kind of like the fun thing happened opposite for us, not for me, but so what we used to do was us guys learned when we were young, we would take trips, but we wouldn't solidify before we left. It was more like, oh, fuck it, we about to go on a trip, but we ain't got it. Like, we good, bro. Like, nah, let's go. So it would cause more turmoil when we was going because we was like, man, fucking like, come on, man. We in Vegas, man. It don't matter. But we was young. We ain't know no better. So then as you grow, we learn to plan their trip. Where y'all want to go. Y'all go have y'all fun. And you do theirs on the top part of the year. So you go ahead and strictly tie y'all, get that done. And when we go on the bottom half of the year, we straight. You know what I'm saying? Eye for an eye. I'm not opposed to checking in. However, I do think that there's value in what Lewis said, being with the people that you're with for that intimate time without reconnecting, without being too connected to home, not in a negative sense. In the like, that's
you need that.
You do.
Agreed.
I'll say this too. Make sure that everything is done at home before you go.
Oh yeah.
But that plays such a role. Like, and I know, you know, as a mom, a wife and a mom with children, it can be hard. So if you just you worried about yourself, you packed all your stuff the whole week, you haven't done anything to make sure that she's good when you leave, you don't have a serious problem checking in or not. So I feel like it'll work in your favor if you make sure home is good before you get on the whatever plane, however you get.
I don't disagree with you. I wholeheartedly agree. Can I ask a real question?
Mm-hmm.
When does the consideration for, I'm asking an honest question, when does the consideration for his need of a break kick in? Like, we gotta press until you literally leave the house to go get on the plane. Like, can this week be about my preparation to leave? I'm asking.
You can still prep and do all the things because you about to have this break on your vacation.
Better take that trash can to the curb. Better mow that grass.
Hey, Lewis, to me, that's like, I'm not even talking about that stuff. Say, when I hear say taken care of, I'm not thinking of the small, minute things like that. I'm thinking more so of making sure, like, you all had done things before you leave. You went on a date maybe the weekend before, spent some time. Am I misreading that? Or you're talking about literally taking care of the house? Are we talking?
No, I meant literally taking care of the house. I don't mean like a date night. No.
No, I'm intentional about that. Like, if I'm leaving, if I know I'm leaving in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a little weekend where we get the vibe. I know I'm leaving, but I think sometimes, because I wasn't thinking about like those type things, because that's not even to be discussed. I was just saying, like, oh, does the consideration for me needing the break kick in, or it's like me all the way up until I leave?
That doesn't come a question to your question. Does that come naturally for men and women? You know how some women are like, oh, I know my dude's about to go on vacation with all his boys. Let me do something and put it on him before he leaves, so he won't be tempted as much to do X, Y, and Z, or vice versa for the women. Like, your man takes you out, he does all these things because he knows you're about to go into a dangerous territory, maybe. Is it not? Are you not doing those things because of that? Like, is it, or are we supposed to think, oh, maybe we shouldn't pressure him into taking me on a date or doing these things because he needs a break? Like, we're thinking about his break.
I think if he does everything he's supposed to do, and you're considered 97% of the year, and these 5 days that I opt to take to myself, it's a hard sell. Like, I'm not saying be inconsiderate. What I'm saying is, it's hard. Like, I think this is a thing too. Now, I'm gonna try not to be long-winded. I don't think women know how much men think about their well-being and what they need, how often they think about that, and how that controls their decision making. So I'm saying
that decision making. Yep.
Say again.
Yep. That's how we think. We think about them before we think about us.
So if I thought about you 8 weeks before I left, and I dropped the ball 2 days before I leave, why does that 2 days trump the 8 weeks?
Do we know the 8 weeks, or is it just something that you've been doing? Like,
I'm gonna, Asia, you about to start a whole nother argument. We almost hit 2 hours.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm genuinely asking because I'm asking from y'all's perspective. Is it something that when you think?
Do you believe a spoiled person know they spoiled? Do you believe a spoiled person know they're spoiled?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
No, they don't. They don't know.
They absolutely do not know. They absolutely so because what if I treat you well is normalized, which means the expectation that I do to you, you're used to. So you're saying, do we know? If you're spoiling somebody, of course, like, that's second. Oh, he does that anyway. He better do that. So now I got to go do something above that standard to make you feel like I'm doing that. But if your normal everyday lifestyle is taken care of, you're considered, every way I'm moving is about you, and you don't know that, is that a me thing?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was asking based on like the communication of if you were prepping something. I was asking a different question, but I don't need to ask that. Yeah, I was asking a different question regarding just like when y'all are thinking so much about us and the women and all those things. If you have been planning something, let's say for 8 weeks, but I don't know you're planning it, right? And all I know is you didn't follow through or something dropped the ball in those 2 weeks, did I know that you were planning something? You were really considering those 8 weeks. You see what I mean? It's like, was that communication there? But your explanation, I have nothing to say about it. That's good.
Well, I want to ask you a question though, then I'm gonna leave it alone because I know we're getting to 2 hours. We go on a date every Friday night. We have kids, regardless, we go on a date every Friday night. We go for 6 weeks. I dropped the ball on the last. I'm sorry, I dropped the ball. That don't happen on the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the week of before I go, it's a lot moving around. I'm packing. I just can't be as attentive as I usually am. Are you going to be like, hey, we haven't done anything? Or you're going to be like, you know what? We did go out 6 times before these past 2 weeks.
Oh, I see. I would ask about it.
Why?
No, I wouldn't.
Hold on. Okay, now I don't even want to get into a big discussion about it, but
I do.
And this just goes, okay, that's fair. But what I'm saying is, it's not in a malicious way. It's not in an entitlement way. But if something has been happening, right? Because I generally might not know. This is the part that I was asking about with communication. I might not know all the prep that it's taking for you for your trip in those 2 weeks, right? So if it's something that it's like, hey, babe, I can't do it this week. You know, we're not going to be able to do it, blah, blah, blah. That's very different than if it's like, my expectation is this is our thing. This is our date night day or whatever. And it's not happening. And it's been 2 weeks in a row. And there hasn't been a conversation as to why it can't be done or what's going on. Then I'm asking what's up, not in the sense of like, why are we not going out? That's not what I was saying. I was saying I would definitely ask about it.
I think that's fair, but from our perspective, it's inconsiderate. And it's unfairly inconsiderate because we think about that all the time. We think about creating that space and that opportunity all the time. In the moment that we don't, or when we're not the best communicators because we're focusing on creating this, we're focused on us, we may drop the ball there, right? And when you come and you bring up something that we missed, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, I did, but you know, I'm focused on this right now. And it's like, okay, like sometimes it's not going to be about you. And I know that, and it's, but I get your point on communication, but I think it's important to consider the why. You know, instead of saying, why didn't you do this? You can say, hey, why didn't we do this? Or I know you're about to go on it. You know, I'm about to go on a trip, right? I've communicated that to you. You get what I'm saying? So, but when you start to insert what I didn't do for you in that moment, when I'm in the midst of doing something for me, that's when that inconsideration kind of comes up. Does that make sense?
Well said, my brother.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense because that's not where my.
Yeah, I agree.
AKA spoiled.
I agree. I feel like, first of all, I'm not asking. So I'm very much not asking, especially if you do it all the time. Common sense, not so common for everybody, would be like, okay, he's intentionally trying to do something, whatever. My first thought wouldn't be that he forgot me. But to Asia's point, I will say, if you create routine somewhere, it's like brushing your teeth. It's kind of, and you step outside for a minute without saying anything, right? And I'm supposed to connect dots of you're overwhelmed or you're planning or you're this. That's the part where it gets a little bit tricky because you created this routine for us. So that's where it becomes a healthy conversation of, hey, babe, I know we do this, but I'm not doing this week. And that's okay. Right?
Yeah, I think we maybe have trouble communicating that because we don't prioritize ourselves a lot.
Okay.
So we're not going to be as proactive with that.
That's fair.
Yeah. And
does that make sense?
Fair, but I think that's fair. But I think then when I say, like, if I were to say like, hey babe, like we're not doing dinner today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, once again, it's not a malicious thing. It would be then like, I got the haircut because I'm planning. I got the trip. Okay, cool. And leave that at that.
May I?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but I'll tell you where I think a lot of where our mindset comes from. And Lewis, I really want you to correct me if like really, really critique my thought in this. I think what happens is the level of consideration we have during that time period. There's a lot of moments where you don't have to ask us to see what's going on. You don't have to ask us to analyze or be supportive, right? So in those 2 weeks when nothing happened, when the shoe was on the other foot and we're prioritizing ourselves, you're in the house with me. We live together. We're interlocked. You know what I'm saying? How aren't you able to see that I'm focused? The same way I'm able to analyze and make sure that you're good way before that. So you're not wrong for asking the question. But in my, and I'm gonna speak for myself. In my mind, it's like the same way I'm very intentional about knowing your needs and having conversation or noticing things without being told. Why can't I get that same reciprocity of like observation? Like, okay, I see your little, you can even call it a little trip. Your little trip coming up. You doing a lot over here. Okay, cool. I got you. Hey, is there anything you need? Can I help you prep for your trip? But it's like, hey, what's going on? But I'm because of the standard and routine, Britt, which I agree with, that I set, I've made it normal for my movements not to be observed or considered. So when those moments happen, I'm then removing my expectation of you to give me the same thing that I've given you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I kind of disagree. It's like, why can't you see a lot of women? I know my wife is big on like if it's something and you can see it, like let's do it. Let's do it. Like if you see there's an issue, let's do it. Cool. But how many women take that same approach in moments where they're not prioritized? Damn, it's quiet.
No, you're
Not
right.
a lot.
You're right. It's true. It's true. I guess it's the normalizing thing for us, because you all talk about like not prioritizing yourselves enough, or which is very much fair and true. But like for us, we're more transparent with our emotions. We talk about all the things, right? And then you created a routine, and you're looking for reciprocity in something that's not part of the routine.
Because
So
our marriage wouldn't work if we did. That's just the reality of it. If we prioritize, I'm being real, being super transparent. If we ask for the same priorities, if we ask you all to prioritize us the way we prioritize y'all, it wouldn't be, it would not be a copacetic situation. And again, I'll put it to this: most guys that's in love with their wife and their family don't mind it. That's what I get enjoyment out of, taking care of my family. However, that also means that there's not a balance of prioritizing there. That's just the reality of it. If I enjoy, back to Lewis's point earlier in the show, if I enjoy buying these things, helping you do this, do that, and the third, if I'm super focused on that, you're not going to be thinking about doing that for me when I'm doing that all the time. Lewis, am I tripping?
We had 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Leave me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna stand on business. I'm gonna be quiet. But I honestly feel like a lot of things that get misconstrued is there's nothing wrong with a lack of balance when it's the natural order of things. If I'm a provider and that's what I do, I love taking care of my family. That's not going to be balanced. The only time balance is an issue is when the other side of the scale has to come up and ours has to go down. Come on,
boy,
man.
Boy, you dangerous, boy.
Oh, I mean, it's my fault, bro. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. We had 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna just agree to disagree.
Oh, shit. We got to talk about that.
Oh, now we got to talk about it.
No, man, not tonight. But we gotta come back to that.
Okay. So look, because Brittany's agreed to disagree, it's her topics of the night. We appreciate everybody tapping in, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. This has been another live show of the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K.Mims. I got the ladies of the show, Brittany and Asia, and my bro Louis B, and we are out.